Hi everyone, it's Plastic EP coming in from Melbourne, Australia. And today we got a fantastic actor, right? Pavlos Plakakis. How are you today, Pavlo?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. And just to tell you, I'm Greek background as well, right? Where you coming in from?
Go New York City.
That's great. That's a wild place. I've been there. A lot of do you go to a lot of theatre shows there?
Oh yes, a lot of Broadway shows, a lot of theater shows, off Broadway, you name it.
I know, and they've got fantastic places open, like pizza places there. They've got an Irish pub that's there. It's 24/7. It's full on.
Yeah, everything you want, they got it.
Let me
New
tell
York
you, here
City.
in Melbourne, we've got one of the biggest Greek communities outside of Athens. So if you ever come down here, you're going to love it. They've got a suburb called Oakley, and what happens is it's full of eating places and cake places, and like it's amazing. You'd love it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love
Now,
to try different foods.
no, you'll love it. Now, you're an
Yeah.
actor. Tell me now about some of the roles that you've played and how you got into acting.
Well, so I've got into acting. My father used to own his own production company in Munich, Germany, and then he moved to Philadelphia. He had a production company in Philadelphia. A story happened that he ended up losing his business because he had no insurance on the building. The building burned down. And so then he started a new life in Alaska. And so I always was into acting. I always had an interest in it. I asked my dad, I said, "Hey, what do you think about me being like a movie director or a filmmaker making movies?" And he always told me, he says, "No, you're best off as actor." So I started doing acting. When I went to the military service for 6 years, I remember I had memorized the St. Crispin's Day speech for Henry V when I did Shakespeare in the Park in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, when I was living there. And so then I did, Henry V, and then I did that in front on a bunker in Korea for all my soldier buddies, and they were all mesmerized. They couldn't believe that I memorized Shakespeare, like one of the hardest languages, the hardest, things to act in. And so that I was like, I thought to myself, it inspired me to, when I got out of my military service, I wanted to be an actor. I used my GI Bill to go to New York Film Academy, graduated New York Film Academy, and then I graduated Lee Strasberg Theater Film Institute. And I've been on many different shows. I've been on Law and Order. I've been on Pose. I've been on Gaia. I've been on The Equalizer. And just recently, I did this movie with Brad Pitt and George Clooney. I can't really talk about it, but I have
Yeah,
a scene as a henchman in that movie.
that's
So
great. I look
yes,
forward to that. Is that like,
yeah,
I'm saying, what's your favorite role? Is it the one you just did?
yeah, I do. I like being like the enforcer roles. It kind of challenges me because I'm already really nice guy, so I got to act like really tough and mean, which I'm not like that. So it's a challenging thing as an actor.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
great you graduated from all these different places, but it gives you great credibility, doesn't it? Because you've got like a resume of what you've done, and coming from production companies, I mean, that helps too, doesn't it?
Oh yes, absolutely. It's really good. It's helps out a lot.
And do you
Um,
think you will
yeah.
do other things? You may direct, even though you may not have been advised to do it. I mean, you could break into anything, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think so. I might give it a shot. Try out directing sometime. Why not? See if it's something I love to do or not, and see if it's something I love more than acting.
You might even start your own production company and start off with a film. That's a possibility too.
It's possible. Yeah, I have a couple of buddies of mine that I went to school with, and we graduated. We're both veterans, and we're already trying to create our own production company, trying to create this post-apocalyptic film. Coming out. We're working on it, and we just need to find the money, the sponsors for the to create the film, to finish the film. So yeah, it's a possibility actually.
Yeah, but the great thing is you'd know the process of how you actually can get a movie to be a movie. You know what I mean? The steps that it takes. Because I find a lot of
Right.
people, they have the ambition to do a movie, but they got no idea how to go about it. I mean, isn't that the secret when you know how to go about it?
Oh yes, yeah, that's the secret. You know how to go about it, create the movie. That's for sure.
Like there's so many movies where people have come up as an actor and then gone straight into a movie that's become a hit movie.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
And
It's
what are
true.
some of your favorite movies that you aspire to go towards?
Well, I really like I like action. I like comedy. I kind of like I like a bit of everything actually. I'm not really not a specific one that I don't like. I find a lot of artistic expressions within each type of category of movies, and I find them all interesting and challenging and fun to work in and be a part of as well.
That's great. Have you ever been to Greece?
Yes, I have. I have been to Greece. I went there. I went there when I was stationed in Izmir in Turkey. So I couldn't find a base in Greece, and it was during the Christmas. I went to Christmas break. I had some time, some leave from the military. I took a couple weeks off from the military, and I went there during Christmas time. I went to Athens. I went to what's it called? Patmos, the island of Patmos. Um, and Thessaloniki. I was trying to find my. I have a half sister out there, so I was searching for her.
That's great. During the 60s, I went to Greek school. I hated it. Down here in Australia, I hated it. That was just me. You know what I mean? And the great thing is talking to your mum and dad, you learn more Greek than going to Greek school. And then when I go to Greece, I actually talk spasmena, elinika. That means broken Greek, right? And what happens is I'll start off Greek and then I'll go straight into Australian in like the same conversation. And I'll ask the Greek people, do you understand what I'm saying? And they go, yeah, we understand you perfect. There isn't a problem. You know what I mean? Because
you're right.
When you're buying stuff, I mean, they want to be as friendly as they can. And when you spend money, there isn't a problem with the language there. You know what I mean? They just get it. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
That's I remember the first time I went into a little restaurant, right, like a cafe, and I'm with my dad, and someone yelled out, Taki and a Neraki. That means the guy's name's Taki, and they asked for one water, which rhymes, right? I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like
and
that.
then I've been with my wife a few times to Greece, and it's like the Grizzles on holiday. It really is. Like the crazy things that happen to us, it's got to go down on. Next time I go to Greece or the US, right, I'll be filming everything because there's all these crazy incidents that happen to us. You know what I mean? We were lucky enough. I went with my brother-in-law, and we drove all around Greece for a few weeks. And my brother-in-law, when he went to the airport, said, leave it to me and I'll rent a car. And he tried to rent a car and they didn't get what he was saying, right? And then I said to him, let me talk to him. And I said, listen, we need a big car, big station wagon. We got a lot of stuff. I said, do you see those two ladies over there with 20 suitcases? I told them to bring nothing from Australia, and they brought everything in the kitchen sink. So we ended up getting a BMW wagon after I explained to him 50 times we don't want a small car. We can't fit in it. And then we drove around Greece, and we went to a place called Parga, 2 hours down from Corfu, right in the mainland. One of my favorite places. It's like a seaside town that's 3 streets, and every night it lights up, and it's just like the greatest quality of life you can have. I used to get up, sit outside the cafe, see this big rock in the water, and just eat my breakfast, and you felt $1 million. And you didn't need $1 million to feel $1 million there. That's how great it is in Greece, yeah? And then I went to a place called an island, right? And I think it was called, hang on a minute, my wife knows. What was the little island I went to, Vicky? Starts with P.
Patmos?
Hang on, what was it? Parga, right there. Is it not an island? It's mainland, right? So it's called Parga, and I went there, and what happens is I hired a little car. I didn't want to drive because they're crazy, but because we're on this place, there was little beaches. So I stopped at this little beach. As soon as I went into the water, it was like all the stress out of my life just went up in the air, and I felt like I was reborn. That was a place. That was Paros. Sorry, she made a mistake. That's an island, yeah? Thank you. I knew it was Paros. Okay. So we went to Paris, and it wasn't commercialized. It's become more commercialized. But when I went there, as I said, there's this little bay of water. There was about 8 German tourists, and there was a tavern just there. And you went there, and it was like you're on God's earth. I couldn't tell you how great it was.
Wow, that's got to be amazing.
Yeah.
Experience. Yeah. You're right about the stuff, the crazy stuff that happens in Greece. After I had come back from my trip in Athens and I came back, immediately right after, my base commander, the full bird colonel, calls me up. He says, "Are you safe? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know, sir. What's going on?" Like, he's the highest ranking on our base. And he says, "Yeah, there's a big, huge riot in Greece right now. All Greece is in flames, like, because of the crazy riots. Is like Athens was in flames." And he showed me the video, and I was shocked. I was like, "Wow, this is crazy." They were like rioting over something, with, I think it was some deal with the Chinese or something. They didn't like something. I don't know what it was, but
I think everybody needs to go to Greece at some time. All the people from the US there want to go for a holiday. The number one destination, as far as I can see, is Greece.
And yeah, definitely.
Athens has been voted like the capital of the world. It's a place to go and visit. It's Athens. Came in at number one. Came in at number one.
Everything. And all the history, back there, and the Athens, the capital, the Parthenon. You've got to go see it. It's amazing. Ancient history there in Greece.
And the great thing is, if you can speak a bit of Greek, right? You got to be careful you don't get ripped off. You know what I mean? When you travel and things like that. Right? But if you can speak a bit of Greek, they think where you're from. Like they always ask me where you're from, and I say Australia. They're going to be, "You American?" I go, "No, I'm Australian." From Greek parents, and when you go up, you got to understand, because we're from the north, right, Florida. It's like Horafia there. It's like open country land where they farm. But for me, I go there, but I also like the water. I like the beaches. When I go to Greece now, I want to concentrate more on the beaches and the islands because it's endless. There's about, I don't know, is it 6,000 islands there or 600 islands?
Yeah,
I got to look it up on the net.
A couple thousand inhabited and like several hundred, like 5,000 uninhabited islands. It's crazy. Like, you just go on Blue Star ferries, and you always see these islands you're passing by. You're like, who are these? It's like great.
If you shoot a movie, you should shoot one in Greece, in America and Greece, I reckon, because that would make a great movie.
Yeah, I think so. That's a good idea. Actually, I like that.
Like a comedy. You do a comedy, like something happens.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
And that way it can get funny. But you got to speak Greek in it. You know what I mean? You got to make it real Greek.
I have an actor, a friend of mine, Demetrius Trevisano, he's been on Law and Order as well, and different TV shows and commercials. And I should try to talk to him. Maybe we can create like a comedy or something.
Yeah,
you just go for the American. That's actually a good idea. I like that you mentioned that, because
if you get it going and it's going to be a production, let me know. I might fly into Greece.
Okay, absolutely.
I might make an appearance. I can be funny. Don't worry. My wife and I go on holiday, and it's funny. I told you, it's like the Grizzlies. I can't believe it. We're here in Melbourne, and I said to my wife, right, what are you taking with you? Take nothing. Go there and buy everything. She goes, "I'm taking this jar of cream. It was like this big by that big." I said, "They're not going to let you take it." And what happens is we go there, Melbourne Airport, and they go, "What's this?" She goes, "Cream." She said, "Sorry." They go, "Sorry, you're not taking it." And I said to her, "Don't buy it in the States." I travel light. People don't understand. You got to travel light when you go to Greece. You don't carry everything from your house and the kitchen sink. It's a joke.
No, you got to travel light.
We got crazy things happening all the time. And as I said, then we hired this BMW from the Athens airport. And within a couple of days, there's no brakes on the car. Just came up, no brakes. So we rang them up and they said, "Bring it down." So you're driving with no brakes, and they change it for another BMW wagon.
Oh, wow.
Mate, it's crazy.
Crazy.
And then you drive on the freeways, right? And it's 130 kilometers because the Germans made those roads and they're unbelievable. You can go anywhere. And I was just picking places from maps. I was saying this is a good place to visit. There's a place called Nikki Beach, right? It's near Spetsos. It's an island where Prince Charles and Diana went there on their honeymoon. So there's a place on the mainland called Nikki Beach. And what happens is I said to the lady there, I said, I need to go and get a ferry and go to Spetses. And she said to me, oh, you got to go to Costa. You got to go to Costa. And I'm thinking to myself, I got to drive right and find this guy called Costa so he can tell me how to go across the water, right? So we're in the car, the four of us, and I go, let's see for Costa. Let's see Costa. And we're all talking, let's find him. Let's find him. And as I drive down to the port, there's a sign that says Costa. So Costa is a place, a name of a place, not a name of a person. That's crazy.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow.
Then you had the ferry, and we went across by speedboats. Like 10 minutes to go across, you just flew to the island. They don't allow cars there. And we had our lunch. And what happens is we walk like 20 minutes from the jetty, and then someone dropped off people near where we were eating. So we thought, why walk back 20, 30 minutes where this guy's coming next to us? Let's see if he gives us a lift back. So I waved him down and I said, "Budisna paris mas piso?" And he goes, and that's saying in Greek, "Can you take us back across the water?" And he goes, "Yeah, elate, come." So we saved 30 minutes there. We were back across. Unbelievable place.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Just
now listen,
on an island to hang out.
Do me a favor, Pavlos. Give everyone your links, right? And tell them where they can find you. And you're on that site where they list all your credits to your acting credits.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, sure. Yeah, so you can find me on my website, Pavlos.Plakakis, Facebook.com, and on Instagram, Pavlos.Plakakis. And you can also find me, also IMDb through what's that place called? Vivian. Anyway, I forgot the name. So you can find me on there. Also on you watch the Dark Knight Rises and Batman. You can see me there in one of the scenes. And
that's great. All the best to you, Pavlos. And I just want to say, everyone out there, keep watching the Plastic EP show. And for all our Greek friends in Greece and in America and all over the world, Yassas from Plastic EP
come on.
and Pavlos. See you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.